TV soap news and spoilers say that on June 13, the quiet streets of the district featured in Beyond the Gates erupted into a whirlwind of emotion, conflict, and tantalizing mysteries that left residents and viewers reeling. From brutal crimes to haunting personal confessions, romantic entanglements, and shadowy encounters, this day was anything but ordinary. Our channel is thrilled to bring you an in-depth exploration of the stories that unfolded, weaving together the threads of human struggle, buried secrets, and fragile relationships. Buckle up as we dive into the heart of these dramatic events, painting a vivid picture of a day that will linger in the minds of all who witnessed it. The day began with a chilling revelation that sent shockwaves through the community. Zach, a dedicated aide to Congressman Richardson, sat down with Martin, a central figure in Beyond the Gates, to recount a violent robbery that had recently scarred their district. The details were harrowing, painting a scene of chaos and cruelty that left Martin visibly shaken. Zach's voice trembled as he described the small, family-owned convenience store at the corner of Elm and Fifth, a place known for its warm smiles and homemade sandwiches. On the night of the robbery, the store had been transformed into a battleground. The store owner, Mr. Alvarez, a beloved figure who had run the shop for over 2 decades, was brutally beaten by masked intruders. Zach recounted the scene with vivid detail, the shattered glass of the front window sparkling under the streetlights, the shelves toppled over, and the cash register ripped from its moorings. Mr. Alvarez, a wiry man in his late 50s with a kind heart, had tried to defend his livelihood. But the assailants were relentless, leaving him bloodied and unconscious on the cold linoleum floor. Martin's face darkened as Zach spoke, his fists clenching at the thought of such senseless violence. The flashing lights of police cars and ambulances, their red and blue hues cutting through the night, seemed to linger in Martin's mind, a haunting image that fueled his anger. But it wasn't just the brutality of the crime that stirred Martin's emotions. Zach's mention of Detective Marcel Malone, the lead investigator on the case, struck a nerve. Malone, a seasoned detective with a reputation for dogged determination, was a polarizing figure in the district. Some saw him as a hero, others as a symbol of a system that too often failed its people. For Martin, the name triggered a visceral reaction, his eyes narrowing as if recalling a personal grievance. Was it Malone's involvement in the case, or something deeper, tied to Martin's own past? The mention of the detective's name seemed to ignite a spark of fury, hinting at a connection that remained tantalizingly out of reach. As the day unfolded, Martin's emotional state became a focal point of the narrative. Seeking solace, he confided in Nicole, a maternal figure whose warmth and wisdom provided a safe haven for his troubled thoughts. Sitting in her cozy living room, surrounded by family photos and the faint scent of lavender, Martin opened up about the nightmares that had been plaguing him. These weren't ordinary dreams, they were vivid, suffocating visions that left him waking in a cold sweat, his heart pounding as if he'd been running from an unseen predator. In halting words, Martin described the recurring nightmare, a dark alley, the sound of footsteps echoing behind him, and a sense of overwhelming dread. Each time, he awoke with a crushing weight of guilt, as if he had committed some unforgivable act. Nicole listened intently, her brow furrowed with concern, as Martin hinted at a past mistake, something so grave that it required the intervention of Anita, Vernon, and Bill to pull him back from the brink. Who were these 3, and what had they saved him from? The details remained shrouded in mystery, but the implication was clear: Martin's past held secrets that threatened to unravel him. Nicole, ever the voice of reason, urged Martin to seek professional help. "You can't carry this alone," she said softly, her hand resting on his. "Family can love you through it, but a therapist can help you make sense of it." Her words were gentle but firm, a reminder that mental health struggles required more than just love, they demanded expertise. Martin nodded, but his eyes betrayed his reluctance. The idea of baring his soul to a stranger was daunting, especially when the truth might expose wounds he wasn't ready to face. As Martin grappled with his inner demons, the day took a turn toward the enigmatic. Seeking a distraction, he headed to the district's exclusive country club, a place where the elite mingled over martinis and manicured lawns. The club, with its sprawling grounds and gleaming chandeliers, was a stark contrast to the gritty reality of the robbery scene. Yet, it was here that Martin's story took a darker, more suspenseful turn. For weeks, Martin had sensed a presence, a mysterious man who seemed to hover at the edges of his life, watching from a distance. At the country club, their paths finally crossed. The man, cloaked in an air of quiet menace, approached Martin near the outdoor bar, where the clink of glasses and murmured conversations filled the air. He was tall, with sharp features and eyes that seemed to pierce through Martin's defenses. "You don't remember me, do you?" the man said, his voice low and deliberate. Martin froze, his pulse quickening. Was this stranger a figure from his past, tied to the guilt that haunted his nightmares? Or was he something else entirely, a threat, a harbinger of truths Martin wasn't ready to face? Their encounter was brief but charged with tension. The man said little, only hinting at a shared history before slipping back into the crowd, leaving Martin rattled and questioning everything. The moment felt like a turning point, a crack in the facade of Martin's carefully constructed life. Would this encounter force him to confront the secrets he'd buried, or would it push him deeper into denial? The answers remained just out of reach, but one thing was certain: the mysterious man's presence had set the stage for a reckoning. While Martin wrestled with his past, another drama unfolded across town. Ashley and Derek, a couple whose relationship had been a roller coaster of passion and conflict, were struggling to navigate the aftermath of their decision to move in together. The move, meant to solidify their bond after a near breakup, had instead exposed the fault lines in their relationship. Their small apartment, once filled with the promise of shared dreams, had become a battleground of petty arguments and unspoken resentments. Ashley, a fiery and independent woman, had begun to question Derek's intentions. Was he truly committed, or was he merely going through the motions? The couple's history was fraught with near misses, moments when they'd almost parted ways, only to cling to each other out of fear or habit. Living together had amplified their differences. Derek's laid-back approach clashed with Ashley's need for structure, and their once sparkling chemistry was now overshadowed by bickering over dishes, bills, and unspoken expectations. On June 13th, tensions reached a boiling point. Ashley confronted Derek after finding a cryptic text on his phone, a message from an unknown contact that hinted at secrets he wasn't sharing. "Who is this, Derek?" she demanded, her voice trembling with a mix of anger and hurt. Derek's response was evasive, his eyes darting away as he mumbled about, "Just a friend." The exchange left Ashley reeling, her trust in him fractured. Moving in together had been a gamble, one that now seemed like a catastrophic mistake. As they stood in their cramped living room, the weight of their decision hung heavy in the air. Could they salvage their love, or was this the beginning of the end? Meanwhile, Chelsea, a young woman known for her resilience despite a history of heartbreak, faced a new emotional test. Her budding connection with Dr. Madison, a charismatic psychiatrist with a reputation for brilliance, had sparked hope in her weary heart. The two had agreed to a date, a seemingly simple step that carried immense weight for Chelsea. After a string of failed relationships, she longed for a connection that went beyond surface-level attraction. A bond rooted in trust and mutual understanding. Their date, set for the evening of June 13th, was a blend of anticipation and uncertainty. The setting was a charming bistro overlooking the river, its candlelit tables casting a warm glow over the couple. Chelsea, dressed in a flowing blue dress that mirrored her cautious optimism, felt a flutter of excitement as Dr. Madison spoke with her trademark wit and warmth. Yet, beneath the surface, there were hints of something darker. Madison's past, shrouded in rumors of professional scandals and personal losses, loomed like a shadow over their conversation. Chelsea couldn't shake the feeling that Madison was holding something back, a secret that could either deepen their connection or shatter her fragile trust. As the night progressed, Madison's charm was undeniable, but so was her guardedness. A fleeting mention of a past patient, a case that had ended badly, sent a chill down Chelsea's spine. Was Madison's darkness a reflection of her own pain, or something more sinister? By the time they parted ways, Chelsea was torn between the sparks she felt and the fear that this connection might lead to another heartbreak. The date had been a test, not just of her emotions but of her ability to trust again. Would Madison prove to be a kindred spirit, or would her past destroy any chance of a future together? June 13th was a day that left an indelible mark on the residents of Beyond the Gates. From the brutal robbery that shook the community to Martin's haunting nightmares and his chilling encounter with a mysterious stranger, the day was a tapestry of raw emotion and unanswered questions. Ashley and Derek's faltering relationship exposed the fragility of love under pressure, while Chelsea's date with Dr. Madison teetered on the edge of hope and heartbreak. Each story, interwoven with the others, painted a portrait of a community grappling with its demons, both personal and collective. As the sun set over the district, the flashing lights of police cars, the weight of unspoken secrets, and the flicker of candlelight in a riverside bistro lingered in the collective memory. Beyond the Gates had never felt so alive, so fraught with possibility and peril. What secrets would the next day unveil? Would Martin confront his past, or would the mysterious man pull him deeper into the shadows? Could Ashley and Derek find a way back to each other, or was their love doomed to collapse? And would Chelsea's heart find the connection she craved, or would Dr. Madison's darkness prove too much to bear? For now, these questions hang in the air, a tantalizing promise of more drama to come. We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV soap news and spoilers for more updates on Beyond the Gates.